Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Mass Effect. In the last episode, we went to the moon and disabled a rogue VI, and in this episode, we're going to be continuing on with some kind of side quests in between the plot worlds, and as you can see, for once, we're not starting on the Normandy, we are in fact next to it, because we're on the Citadel, and it all looks very nice and pretty. So yeah, we're just going to do a few, I'm going to aim to do about 3 or 4 side quests around the Citadel, as well as some shopping and various things. So, first things first, it's time for a long elevator ride. Doodle-doo-doo-doo.
So, Liara, you've spent 50 years studying Prothean ruins and artifacts.
Our travels now are somewhat different from my normal excavations. I would prefer lengthier studies and fewer explosions.
I think you've spoken for scientists everywhere, Liara.
So, down here in CSEC, the first thing I want to do is come over to the shop, well, it's not actually a shop, it's the Spectre Requisitions Officer, but either way, he has got some pretty nifty gear. So, wow, I'm going to do with most of my equipping as I always do kind of off-screen, but the only thing I want to show briefly is all the way at the bottom of his wares. Oh, this scrolls really slowly. I'm holding down at the moment. There's no way to make it go faster. There we go, Ariarchy Technology License. I believe this only unlocks at level 20+, so worth grabbing now. I'm just going to do some of my own equipping, so I'll be back with you in a sec. While I was changing equipment as well around, I realised we need to do some levelling up. So that means that Ashley can have 2 in First Aid to unlock it to Advanced. We actually haven't done Liara in a while. Liara, you can have 2 on Electronics. And 2 on Barrier to get that to Advanced, why not? And I'm already fully leveled up. So, with the equipping and stuff done first, now we can actually get on with some of our kind of business here. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab the rapid transit over to... Hold on. Oh, bollocks, I left the thing by accident. Over to the... Wait for it to load. Markets. There we go. Now, if we come over here, there is this chap who we've met before. Who remembers Conrad Werner? Let's have a little chat with him.
Commander Shepard, it's me, Conrad Werner. Remember me? There are rumors on the extranet that you've been made the first human Spectre. That's incredible.
Right, Conrad. We talked a while back.
You remember me? Wow. Guys must try to talk to a lady like you all the time, but you remember me. That really means something. Hey, could I get your picture?
Sure. No problem.
Just hold up your gun. Perfect. Thanks again, Commander. I'm gonna hang this in my living room. My wife will love it.
So as you can see, he's getting creepier and creepier. Yeah, my wife will love it. Yeah, we believe you, Conrad, certainly. Anyway, if we come down here, one of these shops that'll have something useful is Morlan and his famous store over here, because if we talk to him...
Hello there. Welcome to Morland's famous shop.
Goodbye. No, I keep doing that today. I keep going on back when I meant to go and... Yes. If we go on the standard items... You'll just find right down at the bottom is a grenade upgrade, which is useful. More grenades is better. And again, I'm going to have a look through his wares and see if there's anything else and meet you off screen. No, back on screen. Shut up. There's nothing of use here anyway. I'm talking shit. Right, so now we need another rapid transit point, which is through here. Score is down, actually. And we're going to head over to the Presidium and the, wait for it, Financial District. So, there's a number of things we can do here. Firstly, you can see the Emporium shopkeeper, that Hanar in the distance. Weirdly enough, he's not marked on the map as a shop, he's just a bloke. But if you chat to him, he has some stuff of use. Specifically, there we go, standard items. The thing that I would recommend buying, as ever, is a license, Devlin Industries license. Everything else he sells is pretty low level and not particularly useful. But if we now then continue along here, we should be able to find... something that we missed last time. Aha, here we go. I knew there was one near here. A keeper! That's what, 17, 18 now, I think? Boop! So, yeah, getting certainly along with the keepers. Anyway, now if we kind of go all the way back along here, well, I'll put the speeder on for this bit for it's a bit of a walk, but I'll see you over at the Presidium Commons. Now over here, you can see the CSEC officer and the preaching Hanar.
This one believes it has the right to move freely through this area.
You're creating a public disturbance. It's against Citadel regulations.
This one is unsure why the other would not wish word of the Enkindlers to be spread.
So there's clearly a bit of an altercation going on. As when you overhear an argument, we can step in like the busybody we are. So let's talk to the Hanar first.
Do you desire to learn of the Enkindlers? Or has the Honorable CSEC officer enlisted assistance?
What's going on here?
The CSEC officer requests that this one purchase an evangelical permit to spread the truth of the Enkindlers.
Let me talk to the CSEC officer. Perhaps I can explain the situation.
This one would be most grateful for the assistance. Please let this one know if success is achieved.
That Hanar refuses to listen to reason. Why can't it act in an orderly and lawful manner?
Are there laws being broken here?
I am not unreasonable. The Hanar is free to spew its nonsense once it purchases an evangelical permit.
If you'd like, I could talk to the Hanar for you.
I have argued with the stubborn jelly all afternoon. You are certainly welcome to try.
Has the CSEC officer been assuaged?
Is this really how you want to represent the Enkindlers?
The truth of the Enkindlers must be made known. They gave the Hanar language, and gave the universe the mass relays. This one only wishes to spread the truth to any who will listen. There is no intent to cause trouble.
Is this how the Enkindlers would want you to use this gift of consciousness?
The Enkindlers would wish for their message to be spread to all sentient races.
If the Protheans had wanted you to force your message on the unwilling, they'd have said so.
This one hears wisdom. Perhaps enthusiasm has clouded judgment in this matter. This one departs now, and will not intrude upon the Presidium again.
I see the Hanar is left. Thank you.
Happy to help.
Here, for your assistance in this matter. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should report to my superiors.
So that's a little kind of just one-off submission polished off. And also, that gives us an interesting bit of backstory on the Hanar we've not really had before, that they actually worship the Protheans as claiming that they uplifted them personally. Oop. Keep up. Yeah, saying that they, like, uplifted them personally, which is quite interesting. They actually revere them, which is cool. But yeah, there's this thing here, which is pretty awesome. It's the relay monument, so monuments to the mass relays, I assume. But anyway, if we come back over here, just towards basically the mass rapid transit point that we came in over to the financial district over here, there's another couple there. Well, not really a couple, they're brother and sister, Michael and Rebecca Petrovsky. So,
I'm telling you, this is not what Jake would want.
Who are you to tell me what my husband would want?
I'm the only person making sense right now. You're endangering your baby.
This baby is the only thing I have left of Jake. I don't care what you think, Michael. It's my decision.
I know you're hurting, Rebecca, but don't let your grief hurt your baby too.
Can I help with anything?
Perhaps you can talk some sense into her.
I don't need anyone to talk sense into me, Michael. I'm not undergoing the treatments.
My sister-in-law here is pregnant, and she's refused to let the baby undergo gene therapy in utero.
I thought gene therapy was common.
My husband Jacob died from a rare heart condition several months ago.
There's a chance that the baby could develop the same heart condition, but routine gene therapy can eliminate it.
A very small chance, Michael. And extranet reports say the therapy could harm the child.
It's less dangerous than the genetic enhancements that every soldier in the Alliance receives.
What are the chances that your child will develop the heart condition?
According to the doctors, there's a 1 in 50 chance. And if my baby develops the condition, medical treatments are available.
Which are nowhere near as effective as simply getting the gene therapy.
What are the chances that gene therapy could hurt the baby?
1 in 300 at most.
But extranet articles say there could still be long-term complications we don't know about. Don't you understand? If my baby is that 1 in 300, I will always wonder if I killed my baby for nothing.
For what it's worth, I think you should consider undergoing the therapy.
I don't care what you think. Who are you anyway? It's my child. It's my decision.
Wouldn't your husband have wanted to give the baby a better chance than he had?
But what if it ends up killing a child who would never have developed the condition? What then?
Then you'll know you did all you could to keep your baby safe. That's all you can do.
Don't you understand? I can't lose this baby. This is all I have left of him.
And you and that baby are all I have left of Jacob. I can't lose you. Either of you. Not after this.
Then why didn't you just say that instead of yelling at me?
I was scared. I'm sorry.
If it means that much to you, if you trust that it's the right thing, I'll do the therapy. Thank you so much. I guess we needed an outside person to talk some sense into both of us.
That's an interesting quest, that one, I always think, a family matter, mostly because, like, there isn't any right answer to it, and, like, the actual moral question there is not an easy one. There, like, what I tried to show is what my thought process would be in real life, which is essentially weigh up the risks. If it's a 1 in 50 of the heart condition versus a 1 in 300 of the problem with the gene therapy, the safest option, mathematically, is to go for the gene therapy. Whether people in real life, including myself, would think that practically when it's kind of an actual human life is concerned is less clear, but that's it to say. It's interesting about the quest. It's also amusing that they lampshade the fact that Shepard is coming in, some random person saying, "Hey, let me help with your personal problem," and she's like, "Who are you? Why do I care what you think?" Which is amusing enough. Anyway, let's take this elevator up to the ward's access.
So, Dr. Tassoni, are all Asari biotics? I heard Lieutenant Alenko say something about you not needing implants.
While the Asari have natural biotic abilities, not all have the desire to learn to use their abilities effectively.
Wow. To have so many potential biotics that people can choose not to train? I imagine the Lieutenant would be jealous.
Also, at this point, it's worth kind of pointing out, if you ever wonder what the differences between light, medium, and heavy armor are, just look here, from right to left, because we're all wearing the same Scorpion series, but of different weights. Mostly I went for the Scorpion series just because, oh, look in the bottom left, look at those damn shields! So good, they're so much better than any other class at the moment, even if they look slightly weird.
Hey, you're the Shepard kid. Hey, been a long time, huh?
I'm sorry, do we know each other?
I guess you don't remember me. Lieutenant Zabaleta? I worked with your mother. We served on the carrier Einstein. Well, that was 12, 13 years back, though. You were just a kid then.
I didn't see her much that tour. The ship was on patrol most of the time.
Hey, call your mom up and ask. She'd remember old Zabaleta. She'd vouch for me. Look, I need a favor. I'm kind of short on money these days. I hate hitting you up for money, but a man's gotta eat, right? So, could you spare something? Maybe 20 credits.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
You're a good kid, you know that? Thanks. You ever want to come by and talk, I'll be here. Huh? Can't afford a ticket home, right?
So, Lieutenant Zabaleta appears to know our mother. Well, my mother. Well, it's us. We're all the same. You and I, viewer. So, we can actually now go back to the comm room of the Normandy to confirm his story. So that's what I'm going to go over and do now. So I will see you at the Normandy.
After years of poor economic performance, Exogeny has announced that its research colony on Pharos is finally returning a profit. New discoveries and a dedicated colonization effort have finally paid off for Exogeny. Exogeny stock rose sharply with the announcement, with investors pleased at this surprising news.
Amusingly as well, you only hear it in this elevator in the game, but you can actually hear the main theme from Mass Effect, the one I play at the end of every episode, but done in a kind of swingy elevator music style. It's quite amusing. Anyway, I will actually see you at the Normandy this time, unless there's another cool elevator conversation, who knows.
In breaking news, Chairman Burns of the Parliament Subcommittee on Transhuman Studies has been kidnapped by biotic extremists. The biotics commandeered a freighter and were last seen in the Hades Gamma Cluster. No demands have yet been made.
So if you come to the back of kind of the normal into this comm room, then you can open up the comm terminal, and, well, let's do that.
Computer, give me a real-time connection to the Dreadnought Kilimanjaro. I want to speak to my mother, Exo Shepard.
Shepard speak? Oh, hi. I don't have time for a personal call right now. I'm on duty.
I know what that's like. Do you remember Lieutenant Zabaleta from the Einstein?
Ernesto? Have you heard from him? He was one of the Marines who guarded the CIC. We shared a watch. I lost track of him after there was an incident.
What kind of incident?
You remember the Batarian raid on Mindwar in 2170? You were in high school. The Einstein's task group responded to the Mayday. The Batarians were still pulling out when the Marines hit groundside. Zabaleta was one of the first down. He was never quite the same after.
He has post-traumatic stress because of what he saw?
He tried to keep working, but it rode him. He showed up drunk on duty more and more. We couldn't always cover for him. The Alliance discharged him. Everyone knew he drank because of what he'd seen down there, even if he never talked about it. Especially because he never talked about it.
For it to have affected him that deeply, he must have been a very sensitive man.
He was. Always in laughter and tears. If you see him, tell him we still worry about him. Tell him to go to the Veterans Affairs office. I have to go. But take care of yourself. You're making us proud. Kilimanjaro out.
So, that's interesting, because that's firstly, this whole mission you only get if you have the war hero background that I do, because that's the only background in which... No, the spacer background even, because that's the only background in which your parents are pretty much alive and kicking, so you kind of get to speak to your mother, which is kind of cool. Also, yeah, it's interesting because... Why is it interesting? God, what the hell am I trying to say? Yeah, the raid that they were talking about, the Batarian slavers raiding the planet Mindwar, if you have the sole survivor background, then that is your background. Like, you were as part of that mission, but you kind of, like, held off the Batarians single-handedly until help arrived. So it's kind of interesting, that interplay. Obviously, it's something that doesn't really happen, because, like, you can't be both. But it's a cool thought. Anyway, let's head back and have a little chat with Zabaleta again.
Presidium technicians are struggling to understand why a computer system catastrophically overloaded recently. Technicians are reportedly unsure of what caused the malfunction, or even what the system was originally designed to do. CSEC is investigating the possible vandalism or misuse of public property.
Who remembers that quest that we did? Signal tracking back in, I think it was episode 6 or 7. It's nice that these elevator conversations do occasionally give you a bit of a kind of catch-up on quests you've done, both around the galaxy and specifically on the Citadel. So, back on the ward's access corridor, Lieutenant, if you're going to be technical about it, which I am, because I'm British, and I know we pronounce it wrong, but it's our word, we'll pronounce it however the hell we want. Talk to Zabaleta again.
Hey, back again, huh? I don't suppose you got any credits to spare.
I spoke to my mother. She told me about what happened on Mindwar.
Oh, did she? I wonder. People tied like prize hogs, locked in cages, clawing and screaming as they're loaded into cargo pods. And we couldn't reach them. The Batarian defenses had us pinned. Dozens died trying to advance. All we could do was watch as they hauled people away. I've been looking for 13 years for something to make that sight go away. What have you got, huh?
I'm not gonna give you money to drink yourself to death. You need to stop this.
If you don't have a better option, just give me 20 credits. A good bottle of whiskey. Enough to stop the dreams.
My mother said to go to the Veterans Affairs office. You're not the only one who's seen that brand of hell. They can help.
The VAO? God. All right. If she wants me to go talk to someone, fine, I'll do it. For her. She always stuck up for me. She always was naive. All the VAO does is pump you full of chemicals. If she wants to talk, tell her she can reach me through the Citadel VAO.
And that kind of concludes that quest. And that's a really interesting one, I think. It's one of those ones that does give you a lot to think about. And I like the moral behind it, of kind of, it has applications for real. We've been doing a lot of interestingly moral quests today, but yeah, it has a lot of applications for like real life. Whenever you see just like a homeless person or a kind of a drunk, there's always a story behind them. You can't just kind of dismiss them all out of hand. But anyway, we're at 21 minutes. That's probably as good a time to stop as ever for today. So we basically gone around the Citadel, fixed some problems, interfered in people's personal shit, met our mother. Well, obviously we already knew our mother, I assume, but actually met her in-game, so that's kind of cool. Next episode, we'll be going back into space, and we're going to be investigating the Geth incursions in the Armstrong Nebula that we heard about while we were on Veros, and kind of seeing what the crack is there. So thank you very much for watching. I've been the Doctor with the Infamous Gentleman, and this has been Mass Effect, and I hope you'll join me next time. Good day.
Admiral Kahoku, a respected member of the Alliance military, has passed away. The veteran soldier who won the love of his troops during conflict with the Batarians died of natural causes. Kahoku is survived by his wife and 3 children, who are planning a small private memorial service.
Is it common for human women to be front-rank fighters, Chief Williams? I know that Solarian women do not serve in the military.
It's becoming more common, but it took a long time to prove that ladies could handle an assault rifle or a shotgun.
Such enforced roles are common in dual-sex societies. I was fortunate not to have to deal with that particular burden.